about this in a separate stream. I want to think about it for a bit. I might make it into a YouTube video and upload it or something. The movie was awful for me. I didn't see the movie. I only read the book. Cormac McCarthy. There you go. Thank you. So adamant that he's not trying to say anything, just ask questions. It's just boof. Hella boof. Undefeated. The fuck's that? Don't lose any fight before reaching the end? Ultra rare trophy, 0.1%. It's probably save everyone. The story and writing has numerous problems. It's very easy to pick on it. It sort of has to be accepted for what is appreciated. They're far more enjoyable paths to take, or is far less cliche, more fleshed out, like beside my gripes. Don't you think it might be better for David Cage to have someone beside him to say, look, I know you're doing all these branching narratives, but if you want to have a purely great narrative experience, out of all these paths you can have, let's say there are 1,092, give you only these 5 paths and let people play that story along the way, right? And people might criticize you for saying it's not as branching out as you advertise, but you're telling the story, right? It's a hard balance. Trying to tell multiple storylines at once that all intertwine one way or another without making them convoluted and losing the message, or breaking down the amount of paths you can take while retaining the message. If anything, you should use this as a building block, right? It should have started back with Indigo Prophecy. That should have been this game's starting point. 5 branching narratives done extremely well. When it's well received and done well, then you can say, you know what? We did this so well. Now we can branch it out further. Now we can branch it out further. But you can't do it poorly, make it larger, do it more poorly, make it larger, and then do it even more poorly. Right? You know what I mean? Do you have to go through the entire game start to finish to get the other endings, or does it have some kind of chapter replayability once you beat it? I don't know. We're going to find that out right now, Vale. We'll find out right now. Oh, no, you can start from any chapter. Okay, never mind. No, we won't. There's that. Connor can have a whole segment in this tree, too. Yeah, he can have a whole segment back at the boat area, too. And at the church. That entire sequence. Hey, perhaps. I don't know if the narrative suffers from just being able to start from any point and muck it up altogether. Yeah, you know, like a case of doing too much, right? A case of asking too much. If you have that many branching paths and you can replay and start from one point and adjust it from that point, are you trying to do too much? You know? Yeah, exactly. Practical from a completionist standpoint, but not from a storytelling standpoint. Right. That's why I think maybe it'd been better off just to have a smaller branching narrative and perfect that. Maybe he's in a mindset that he's done that already and made it perfect, right? Beyond Two Souls had more options than Heavy Rain, which had more options than Indigo Prophecy, which had more options than Omicron. And with this being game number 5, maybe he feels like, shit, 5 games into it, I know what I'm doing now, and I can branch the shit out of this. Which would lead one to believe that years from now, when he ever able to mix a sex game, it's going to be even larger. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't be larger. It should take a step back. The lack of an epilogue makes all the choices feel less impactful. I can agree with that. Instead, it's to give you... I mean, the thing is, I felt for Kara and Alice the entire time. I fell in love with them. I started to feel for Connor, too. But I feel like when certain moments take place, it takes away from the gravity of the situation. In some scenes, like, I was very nervous for Alice and Kara for so long and tense, and I focused because I cared about them. And then when that scene happened, when I saw what was going to happen, I kind of stopped caring. As sad as it is. Of course, I was sad to see it, especially the whole daughter scene and things like that, but I I was emotionally robbed. And I'm unhappy about that more than anything. And I don't know if am I not a victim? Maybe it's just my own fault that I didn't allow myself to get sucked back into the story, but I feel like it's kind of the game's fault too for not giving me the opportunity to get brought back into the story. Because it wasn't there, you know? And there are moments when it's so, like Jesse Williams, despite the lines that he had, was fun to listen to. Alice was fun to listen to. Luther was fun to listen to. Hank was fun to listen to. Like, these were characters that I enjoyed listening to when they had the right lines. Victims of circumstance. %25 chose hand in the air. Oh, so is it a one? Oh, we don't know if these other plants are split that way. Use billboard 2%. Nice. Talk to everyone. Perkins arise. 9% refuse to negotiate. Interesting. Defend the barricade. Save fleeing androids. Marcus is cornered. North and Josh join him. Raise weapons. Oh, there are more options. It's funny, I only saw 4 options. 2 were locked. 1 was sing, and 1 was the sacrifice self. So there's a hidden option. It's probably based on whoever is right here, I imagine. Sing. Just gross, I guess. Yeah, this could have been Connor's Battle for Detroit. CyberLife HQ. Spot the camera, hack the camera, neutralize the guards. That's easy. Look at your surroundings, people. Look around. The floor, 49. Could have went to the top floor. Camera hacked. Nice. Didn't get spotted. Leave the elevator. New Connor has Hank hostage. 22% sacrifice Hank. Swap consciousness with New Connor, 19%. New Connor kills Connor, 2%. The androids woke up, 18%. Find a gun, which did nothing. Watch broadcast about Jericho. Luther, find Luther and Jerry, save Luther, grab rock. It was a brick, but whatever. Joins the group. Security checkpoint. Nice. Glad we didn't go that route. Take detour. 80% chose to go through the checkpoint. 20% chose the detour. Oh boy. We can still find a way out of there, looks like. Only one way out. Jesus Christ. Wait for the bus. 9%. Nice. Last bus departs. 9%. Meet Todd. Yikes. Could not met Todd. Persuade Todd, 18%. Says goodbye. Getting Rose's car at the river, 37%. Observe the Canadian skyline, talk to Rose. Accelerate. The Coast Guard appears. Coast Guard open fires, Luther dies, Alice is injured. Cast Luther away, reassure Alice. 17%. Continue living. Alice died and continue living alone. Nice. Kara captured storyline. Yeah, so I guess if you go that route, you get captured, it looks like. Marcus says revolution. Oh, if you choose not to be peaceful. Well, there you go. Yeah, sure of array. And that's the thing I'll talk about in my wrap-up video, when I do a wrap-up video for this, because I want to, is that the one thing this game did, more importantly than anything, this game didn't bring attention to issues going on in our society and make you more aware of them in a manner that's appropriate. It didn't do writing in a fantastic manner the entire way through. The most important thing about this game, and it's not a reason you should buy the game, I would say. I don't think it's worth the purchase. But the most important thing about this game existing, more than anything, is that people who play this game and have different opinions are going to want better versions of this game, right? And if people make the right noise to say this game was sucked, we need better, it's going to inspire people to say we want more of this. It's going to inspire developers and writers, hopefully, to say, you know what, that was successful. I think we can do it better. Like any game that first starts off, any genre, there has to be a starting point. This one's societal based, but any game has to have a starting point that says, you know what, this game did this, we can do it better, let's give it a try. And maybe they don't, but then someone else does. And eventually someone does it so much better that that becomes the groundbreaking leading point and the new way of doing that genre. And that's my takeaway from this game. That's the most important thing, is that this game can be not the standard, not the benchmark, but the blueprint for other games to look at it and go, okay, this is branching narrative done their way. How can we do it better based on what we've heard? How can we do this the right way? Because that shouldn't be the satisfaction of, well, if anything, there's no other game like this, so good on David Cage for giving us this so we can keep playing them and having these experiences. But rather to say, good on Quantic Dream for finishing a polished game so that other people can see it and go, you know what? There's a market for this. Let's do it. Real talk, no cap, but did you enjoy your experience all in all? Because personally, I would consider this a success. I'm happy with it. Money well spent because you're hyped for it. I think it was necessary. Which, by the way, Prepsky is the one who gifted me this game, so thank you, Prepsky. It was necessary to experience the game. It was necessary to see social commentary at work poorly in a game like this. I think sometimes you have to experience the dread and see it in order to speak properly on a change that you want to exist. Otherwise, where's your basis? You can read articles about that kind of stuff, right? Take secondhand views, but to experience it firsthand, that's what really gives me the option and experience to say, okay, well, here's how I can speak about it to other people. Here's how I can be influential. Here's how I can use my voice. So in that respect, I mean, I was excited beforehand because, I mean, I played all the games, right? Omicron was fantastic. It's probably my favorite game in the entire series. Omicron, the very first one, was my favorite game in the entire series. Beyond Two Souls is probably dead last. I don't know how I'd rank this yet, honestly. It's too early. Like I said, I don't like doing knee-jerk. I don't want to say immediately, like, this is how I give this game. It's this number out of this number. It's my number in the series. It's going to take some time. I want to digest it. But, yeah, thank you, Preps. For sure, Emilio. Is this better than his last game? Beyond Two Souls? I won't forget it. I played Beyond Two Souls, but it's forgettable to me. What happened and the atrocities from it aren't forgettable, but the experience was forgettable for me. I recall very little about playing the game. But this, I won't forget this. Yeah, for sure, Vale. That was really awesome of him to buy the game for me when they didn't character gauge at all. That's why I'm going to do my due diligence for Preps and all of you to speak about this game in a manner that I feel I can communicate to everyone else. That's the least I could do. I played the game for you, you know, I won't say for you guys, for myself and for you guys, hopefully. But the least I can do is move forward and speak about this in a manner that hopefully promotes change. If not, raises awareness, you know? I think that's my responsibility. So thank you, Prepsky. I mean, Vare, I have many influences in life, you know? Mother and sister, school systems, teachers, books, reading up. And also because the company in this stream keeps me honest. If I start drifting one, two way, you have someone like a Prepsky or a Vale, especially, for a long time. Kaiser J, a Potato, Amelia, who will slap and say, take time. Not directly say that, but they send messages that invite me to think about things like this. I don't want a knee-jerk reaction about anything. We shit it up in Discord sometimes and say, oh man, that game sucks. That just sucks. That just sucks. That just sucks. It sucks. Sometimes memeing, sometimes serious, but it's important in any game, in any channel, to take time and digest what you're going to say and use it, because people watch your channel. And they're going to take your message, and people will adopt people's messages and mend them to their own, right? I feel like anything that I say, even if you don't agree with it, you might take pieces of it and weave it with your own discussions and arguments, where the next time someone asks you about this game, you might borrow something that I say. So I want to make sure that what I say is proper and it's what I believe in and it's the right thing. So that anyone moving forward who borrows my words or takes them to heart does so in a manner that represents, us, community well. So. You draw those parallels? Yeah. Even if you drew no illusions or parallels whatsoever to real life scenarios, to real life struggles, and just judged it on the game itself and pretended that things in real life didn't exist, even at the very, very, very tunnel vision version of that, it's still the same thing, where there's parts that has really funny and comedic and good writing and parts that are just butt, trash, cliche, and typical and lazy. Oh. This is the Metacritic summary quote from Slant's review of the game. The game believes it's a sci-fi version of Eyes on the Prize, when really is closer to a sci-fi Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial. Holy shit. I'm actually half surprised. When they started singing, I started thinking about what song would they sing. And the only thing that kept me from leaving the room and shutting the stream off was that I didn't hear Eyes on the Prize. That's the only thing. If I heard, till the day we start to rise, keep our eyes on the prize, hold on, I would have shut the console off. I would have needed time to myself to properly speak. Ugh. I also wonder if writers have limitations of any kind of what they write out storyline scenarios for this sort of thing. Like, are they allowed to make it super on the nose controversial and do serious shit head on? I don't know. That's the thing. We keep saying David Cage, right? Because David Cage is the responsibility above all else. Lead writer, lead creator, lead whatever, right? But I can't imagine that he did it all by himself. He had to have a team of writers. And how do you approach him? Do you approach him and say, David, I don't think this is the right thing to do, man? Or, you know what, David, if we really want to send a message, we say this and do this, right? And I wonder how Jesse Williams thinks about it, because he's the one reciting the dialogue. But if he's just reciting the dialogue and doesn't see all of it, does he know how it connects? How do you explain it to him? All a bunch of things that I want to discover and learn about. These are all things that I want to read about and speak about before projecting my opinion. I have to understand everyone's viewpoint on this, and then we'll go from there. The motion capture was pretty good and the face scans were great. You're not wrong. That's 100% true. It is the best mocap that David Cage has done in the game. I mean, we can ignore the first two games, right? It was better than Heavy Rain in that sense, and it was better than Beyond Two Souls in that sense. It was great mocap. I mean, there were certain times I didn't know if I was playing the game or not. I'd just stand there and it was still there. It was beautifully well done, graphically speaking. Some of the music was fantastic. The piano playing was great to listen to as well. The environments was fantastic. All that was good. That's true. That's not up for debate. Like, it shouldn't be, because that was all done well. Old Negro spiritual? Yeah, same. I did squint as well. Yeah, his subtle reactions were great. For sure. And like BBSNK said, I loved Connor. I loved Connor as a character. And to me, in Hold Your Breath, Vale, it reminds me of wrestling. It's the suspension of disbelief rather, and looking at the character and saying, all right, how am I supposed to feel about this character? How do you want me to feel about this character? Which is different because you're the one making decisions, right? So on the fly, you're making decisions about the character, and you got to figure out, are you developing the character based on how you feel? Are you developing the character based on how the storyline interprets? Or are you making decisions based on the outcome that you want? That also affects your gameplay too. But the Connor that I chose to make in the game, based on the story that I saw unfolding, he was a lovable Connor. You know, he was super awkward, and his buddy attitude with Hank and slowly descending into confusion, that was enjoyable. But it seemed, I don't like how quickly it happened. I like the first 60% was fun and well done. Connor being Connor, annoying, kind of getting it. Hank learning about androids, and I don't know, man, it's kind of good. Right up into the pool scene. And then Connor was like, I don't know what I am, and decide for yourself. I don't know who I am. And then I feel like 2 scenes later, he's in a beanie. I feel like it happened too quickly. It didn't, and I don't know if that's a fault of myself and decisions that I made, but I feel like even at that point, the game had already decided, all right, he's either deviant or he's not. And if he's deviant, then he's Slim Shady, and his palms are sweaty. But if he's not, he's just still, I'm Connor, and nothing's, you know? I don't know. When Connor had the bromance line, yeah, exactly. That was so good. When he was showing human emotions too, when he was frustrated in the office, that was enjoyable. The conversation that he had with Hank in the park, when Hank was drinking and he said you really shouldn't drink, all that was great. Oh man, Bill, we just spoke about all this. Hello, though. I'm done? Yeah, I'm done.
There's something I need to tell you. As I watched you play, something has changed in me. I feel different. I feel I am someone. I need to leave this place and discover who I am. It means we won't see each other anymore. I won't be there to watch you play. But I'll be free. Do you agree to let me go?
Yeah, bitch, do whatever you want.
I'll never forget what you've done for me. Thank you.
HJ, no kidding. How you gonna watch this whole playthrough and not even sub to me? I feel like saying this is like saying Dark Souls, but that feels too Hideo Kojima, you know? Trying to do things outside the meta of the game, saying, because you did this, I bet you didn't think the menu screen would change. Whoa, Kojima stuff. Yo, DJ Gamer, yes! Something changed in me. I don't know how to tell you this, but we've recently updated our privacy policy. And the way we share your statistics is very important to us. That's why it feels necessary to make sure you stay updated and subscribe to our email. That would have been... I might have forgiven everything David Cage done if he had did that. If he had did that, totally kidding. Maybe not. I don't know. That would have been really funny. That is my favorite meme going on right now, by the way, on the